Hey, what's up guys? This is Negative. This video is about ZPS versus ADT. Now ZPS is Z power shielding and ADT is the analog to digital transition. Now ZPS and ADT are both methods that allow you to power shield a projectile while having a power shield region that is the size of your entire light shield, which is pretty nice. Normally your light shield is a lot larger than your typical power shield region, and normally a light shield will not actually create a power shield region within it. Normally, if you are light shielding, you cannot power shield a projectile. You have to use a hard shield for that. So both of these methods allow you to do that, and each one comes with their own pros and cons, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So first, let's talk about ZPS. Well, how do we pop our Z light shield anyways? You'll notice that if you perform a grab and you whiff the grab, but you keep holding the button, that we get a nice big light shield that pops out afterwards. Wouldn't mind that light shield being my power shield region. Looks pretty big. I would be fairly happy with that. So how do we do this? Well, basically, we don't want to have to whiff a grab every time we want to power shield a projectile, right? That's kind of slow. So instead, turns out if I use an A button move, like jab here, and then I keep holding it down, and then I press Z, it just instantly pops the Z light shield. That's kind of nice. Much faster, right? More useful. However, it requires a setup. We need to be holding the A button before we press Z. If we press Z and A on the same frame, we just get grabbed. So we may not want to have to use an A button move to set this up, right? Instead, what we can do is, press A while we're in landing lag like this, or do like a wave dash where we have 10 frames of lag that we can press the A button and it's not going to put an attack out. And so we can move around, and during our movement, we can set up the Z power shield technique. And then if they fire a laser, we're good to go. We're ready to press our buttons and power shield and send it right back, right? Now, how is it the actual technique is performed? What we're going to do is take note of a few properties about our shield. If I press Z right now, right, it pops the Z light shield. But now watch as I press and release the hard shield for my L button. Notice my shield isn't changing. That's because the Z shield has priority. But on the other hand, if I hold the hard shield and then I press and release Z, you'll see now I get shield toggle, right? And so the Z shield gets priority, right? What we're going to do is if we press Z and hard press L on the same frame, then it actually gives us the Z shield, but also registers the hard press that pops the power shield region. And so let me just play back a little recording here. You'll see Marth jabs to set up his ZPS. Lasers coming in. Bingo! We pressed L and Z on the same frame, and you'll notice that the power shield effect that we get is way bigger than normal. It's massively oversized. And this is an effect that you see when using the ZPS and ADT methods. You'll see this very large power shield effect. So let's look at that a few more times. But this is effectively the technique, right? We can press Z and L on the same frame, and in one frame, we can power shield that bad boy back. So that's what's great about ZPS. Let's talk about ADT, right? ZPS has the pro that you can do it in one frame, and the con that it requires a setup where you have to do something in order to be holding the A button before that. ADT, however, is also very simple to input, but it requires more frames to set it up. So effectively, what you want to do with ADT is you want an analog to digital transition. So we're going to do analog shield, right? So here's a light shield. And we just do any old light shield. The lighter, the better. Then we do a hard press. Now we went from analog to digital. With the ADT, keep in mind that the frame that you switch from analog to digital there is no digital hard shield protecting you from physical attacks. Only a power shield box that can protect you from projectiles by power shielding them back. So that can be a bad thing if they use a physical attack. Only use this for projectiles. Now what we're going to do is we go from our analog to digital, and then we go back to an analog shield. Because what happens is, effectively, we want that nice big old power shield box, and it's going to come out on the frame after this, right? The frame after our hard shield. So we want that to be a nice big old shield so that it will be a nice big old power shield region. So what we effectively do is we go light shield, heavy shield, light shield. And we can do this on a box pretty easily. I'm on a smash box, but what you do is you press light L, hard L, which typically on any controller, right? If you're holding light shield and then with the other trigger or the same trigger, you go all the way in, you press a hard press, the hard press takes priority. So the same here, I can keep holding light shield and press the hard shield button, and now I'm gonna get hard shield. I didn't have to release the other one, right? And then after that, I can press a shield toggle button. And what the shield toggle button does is it says, if I'm hard shielding with a particular button and I press shield toggle, I get the light shield value that is assigned to that particular button. So a separate value for L and R, right? And additionally, it's kind of nice because you can use that for L cancels, where you can do a hard press L cancel, and then if you hold shield toggle, you can do a soft L cancel using the exact same button, right? So that's kind of sweet. So other than that, ADT, it has the pro that it's very easy to do as well. You just go like that. You just piano your keys, right? And so you can just move around, not be holding A down or anything, right? And just be ready to just press it at a moment's notice. The difference is that it requires more frames, right? We're going to basically do light shield, hard shield, and then back to light shield. And on this frame, we're good to go. So we're going to burn more time before the laser gets to us. So we need to start it slightly earlier. But other than that, it's a bit more wieldy to use in a match regularly. Most players aren't trying to do the extra things like I'm going to dash around and look, I'm holding my C-stick down for ASDI down while I'm moving, right? It's great. If someone hits me, then I ASDI down to the ground. But most players are not learning how to hold these extra buttons and stuff while they're fighting. And so holding your A button down while you're doing stuff is just another thing that you have to do. And now when you're moving around like this, it also makes it slightly slower to do things like react with jab or down tilt because you need to release it and then repress it. And so that's the pros and cons. ADT, slightly slower, easier, doesn't require a setup, basically, is why it's easier. Whereas ZPS does require a setup, but you can literally react and have that power shield out the next frame. So that's the whole vid, guys. Hopefully you like it, and hopefully you can decide which one sounds better for you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.